Nia Grace means business, and it's not just me saying that. It is also the Boston Business Journal, who named the restaurateur behind Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen in the South End, of course, and the new Seaport restaurant Grace by Nia, one of 5 women who mean business in Boston. We know that's right. The recognition comes a few months after the grand opening of Grace by Nia, a speakeasy lounge with live music and a Creole-style menu, which also made Nia the first Black woman in Boston to own a supper club with a liquor license. Nia Grace joins me now, and I just have to say, you own the hottest joint in town, because I can't tell you how many events I see pop up, and they're like, oh, we're doing it over at Nia's place. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you, Crystal, and thanks for having me.
Of course. So what does that feel like to have this concept of the supper club, right? And then have it be such a smash?
Yeah. I mean, you always hope that the dream that you have for a business is one going to definitely fill a need or a void or something that the audience wants. But then to actually see it and overwhelmingly respond to it, I can't believe it. You know, we thought that we were going to definitely attract some of our old customers from Daryl's. We knew that we might get some visitors because of the neighborhood that we're in. We were hoping that we would get some locals, some of our actual neighbors in the Seaport. But to see it packed on end for the first 6 months, you couldn't get a reservation for 30 days, right? And I think that that's exciting, and I hope it's a tale of, what's to come.
Tell me about the concept and what led you to want to create this unique space.
Well, it's been years, right? I've been in the restaurant industry for over 20 years. I used to work at a dinner cruise and musical kind of space called the Spirit of Boston, back when the servers were still kind of performing with the
I remember that, yeah.
That was me, one of those servers. And I've always loved the fusion of entertainment and dining. I've always loved and valued my holiday dinners and my Sunday dinners with family and getting around the table and sharing stories and just different moments. We used to watch the kids, kind of dance after dinner was over, and we're watching them, and it's a form of entertainment. And so I say all of that because it's really, it fueled my desire to own that kind of space. Much like my first establishment, I walk in and it smells familiar, it looks familiar, the music is there, and there's a little bit of dancing. And then when it came to Grace by Nia, we wanted to take it to the next level. We were coming out of a 3-year period of a very trying time for the world. And I wanted to get back a renaissance of sort to that time where you could take it slow and let your night gradually, build in volume. And so come in for that cocktail, sit down for dinner, enjoy a show. And then when you're on to dessert and the finale cocktail, maybe you're doing a little bit of dancing with it. So my inspiration has been kind of my experiences throughout the year, but places that I've seen and just nostalgia. So like a Cotton Club or a Copacabana, things that you used to do in old Vegas. And I wanted to bring that to now because I felt like we needed those moments.
Yeah, and certainly you've also revamped Daryl's, which has been in Boston for decades,
yes.
Right? So
yeah,
and what is it like taking on something like Daryl's, where people know it to be one thing, but you want to modernize it so it continues to live through generations?
It's a delicate dance, right?
Sure.
And so it's the crossroads of making sure that loyalists like my parents, who are in their 70s and 80s, that they still remember what it was, and then attracting the new generation of college students that are moving in the area so that they can find out what it is, and then being able to say, I think both of these worlds can live in the same space. And so when I say it's a delicate dance, it definitely is, but it's one that I have treasured. It's also one that I feel could only be done by a few people who really get it, who really get keeping a legacy and making sure that all the people involved with it still have that buying power, including the future.
You were named one of these women who mean business. You don't see a lot of us in the Seaport operating really successful businesses. What does it mean to you to be in that space at sort of the top of your game, not sort of the top of your game,
Yep.
and knowing that it takes a lot to get to where you are.
Yeah, I would say that I'm still on that incline, and I can appreciate the fact that, you know, I'm going in that direction. But what it means to me is that, you know, women like my grandmother, who I watched and who I admired, you know, we're no longer just relegated to being the secretary, the support, right? It means that we can lead and we are valued, and, you know, our opinion as well as our thoughts and our creativity are more than just things that should be put on paper or kept in our head. For me, it's also a matter of being fearless. And I feel like, you know, women often, or at least from my own personal experience, we second guess ourselves. And oftentimes we just have to do. And I think that Grace by Nia for sure is one of those moments where I spent 2 to 3 years second guessing myself. We worked on this project for over 2 years, but we were thinking about it beforehand. And I finally just was like, well, it's just time to do it. And so it feels great to just do it and walk into space and be a role model for so many, for the people that I actually work with on a daily basis, and for people who just see me on the street and say that I'm so inspired by your story. A couple of years ago, I was recognized as maybe one of the most influential people in Boston, and that was great, an honor I probably would have never thought was going to happen. But what it meant for me was so more is that someone is now going to look at me and realize it's possible. And so that's what this means to me, is that it's possible.
What was your biggest challenge, you know, in opening? Like you said, we were just coming out of the pandemic where restaurants weren't doing as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge was thinking that this is something that is right? We had no market data that could show us what happens when you get out of a 3-year pandemic, or at least get to the tail end of a 3-year pandemic, and wonder, you know, is it a good time to start a new business? What we could see is that some people were able to pivot during that time. Restaurants were hit the hardest. We can talk about that stat often. We can talk about how it is one of the hardest industries to even survive the first 18 months, let alone 5 years. And then, again, is this the right time to do it when things are higher in terms of costs of goods? Here in Boston, with our liquor license, you know, policies and procedures, and just the cost of that, that's another hurdle. It's just like all these things are stacking up. Is this the right time to do it? And there are some people who are fearless and who are able to do it and jump out there and say, listen, I guess if it fails, then that's what it does. But the hardest thing was to essentially make sure that I no longer was a person who was going to be fearful of taking a chance, you know.
I'm also thoughtful of, you know, you said you were trying to create an atmosphere where you could go and it feels like a family style atmosphere. You know, I was at an event at Daryl's one time, and my son was like on the drums in there. And you know, I have so many girlfriends that have been in Grace by Nia and have been like, I feel like I belong here, where I may not feel like I belong in that space, in other places in the Seaport, rather. You know, what does it mean to have created that atmosphere and make people feel belonged?
Yeah, I think for me, I always say it starts at the top. And so my partners, Ed Kane, Randy Greenstein, with Big Night Entertainment Group, we get it, right? And we get it collectively. And so when you get it at the top, it starts to trickle down. And so for our hiring practices, the kind of people that we're looking for, the folks that are going to make it, that's where it starts. So it definitely starts with the people. And if we come in with the right intention where we can serve you, absolutely. And that might be some of the feeling that you get where it's just like, this is just an exchange, this is a transaction. But what we specialize in is hospitality, and hospitality on its highest level, where every time you walk in, we want to make it feel like if this is your first time, we know for sure this isn't going to be your last time, but we also want you to walk in and feel like you've been here before, and like you get this really great hug when you walk in. And I think that a part of it and what makes it successful and it makes it something that is received by so many people is because there are two things that are very common about what we do. We're providing a really good comfort meal, right? We're doing that in a way that is presented well in a very nice environment, but it's familiar, even if there's some innovation to it. And then there's music. And at the end of the day, when I look around that room and I see a 21-year-old and a 75-year-old bopping their head to the exact same beat, that is a unifier. And so I think that when you walk in, we took the basics of our business and made those the elements that we knew could unify people. And then we just kind of wrapped it up with the people who actually make it happen every day.
All right. Well, you certainly are making it happen. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.